I decided I was planning out my week in my very disorganized but organized way. And I saw that I was giving the same talk in three different places. And I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if I could consolidate all three of those hours into one and truly, hi, Kristen, feed three birds with one stone? So that's what I'm doing. I'm talking to our private clients and club members. I'm talking to our sweeties. If you have a practice suite, you're a sweetie, whether or not you know it. And I'm also going to go live and share in our big community the meat of this talk because it's relevant to anybody who's looking to grow their practice. I'm going to do a little bit of muscle strength showing off my guns regarding the practice suite because a lot of the pieces that we're going to be chatting about as far as building a marketing plan for 2025, we're looking at the practice suite to do that. If you are here for boot camp, we're going to hang out for about 15 minutes after my share, and we're going to take Q&A on all things practice suite. I will let you know that this is week 1 of a 3-week boot camp. That's relevant to all sweeties. This week, we're talking about building a marketing plan. And then my hope is that the next 2 weeks, we're going to fill in the blanks on how that marketing plan gets built. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go live. Just give me a minute. I've got it all set up here. Okay, so today we're talking about what is very well known as the 4-part marketing map. The 4-part marketing map because it has 4 parts. The way that this came to life is I've been in practice for 25 years, and I found that every year, each month had a theme. And like in November, my practice would focus on gratitude. In December, we would focus on the 12 days of giveaways. In January, New Year, New You. In February, Have a Heart. In March, March Madness. In April, April Showers, Bring May Flowers. In May, Mother's Day. In June, Father's Day. And my birthday's in July, so that was always a big thing. So I found that we had this cadence of a plan. And then I also found that it was really broken down into 2 components. Half of the things that I was doing each month to move my practice forward were habits that I had gotten into. They were like the things that I got used to doing, right? That's what a habit is. The second half of things were celebrations. So the marketing map is broken down into habits and celebrations, and then further broken down into the things that we do inside of the office and the things that we do outside of the office. So when we talk about a 4-part, hey, Sean, when we talk about a 4-part marketing map, we've got inside habits, inside celebrations, outside habits, and outside celebrations. For my visual learners, I'm going to put this in front of you in just a minute. I just want to give you the playing field, okay? So if you can, here's my strong suggestion. If you can stay committed to creating a plan each quarter, the quarter before. So we are in November. If you can create the quarter of a plan for the first quarter of 2025, as we're going through this marketing plan boot camp, you're going to be so far ahead of the game. And then if you decide to like slack off and don't do the thing, whatever, at least you have a plan in place, right? I can tell you that, Diana, I'm just trying to mute. Oh, there we go. I muted you out. So I can tell you that I'm on this really intense journey with nutrition. I hired a nutrition coach. I set like crazy goals for by January 1st. I want all of these things, all the boxes to be checked. And the only way I am successful in the beginning of each day is if I've created a plan for the day. I have my food tracked. I have my meals prepped. I have all of the things done. If I decide to screw off and say, I'm going to eat this instead of that, I still have a plan and I still at least did the footwork. This is you guys doing the footwork. So please follow my lead. Okay. Now that we are live on Facebook and I've got all the people in my Zoom, I'm going to try really hard to not mess this up, and I'm going to share my screen because I've got a lot of screens in front of me. So I'm going to share the right screen. And Courtney, please, if I am showing you the wrong thing, let me know. So the first thing that I want to share with you guys, and if this is redundant, please forgive me, okay? If you already know about the flywheel system, then just go get a cup of coffee. I'm going to talk about this for a few minutes. Before we get into planning how we're going to nurture our practice members in 2025, how we're going to bring them to our door, both virtually and physically, I want you to first plan what you're going to say to them, right? So saying meaning, what words will they read? What words will they hear? What will they see? What videos will they see? What's your nurturing plan for people coming into your world before, during, and after their visit one? Somebody needs to mute out if you could. I'm just going to go through this really quick. All right, good. So the flywheel is a way for you to look at your system. Like, this is before my practice members even know who I am. This is when they discover who I am. This is when they come in for their initial consultation or come to my Zoom if you're an online practitioner. This is when they say yes to care. This is when they lean into a care plan. And this is when they say yes to like my Mac Daddy offer, which we call our perfect practice member offer. Okay. So it starts with a little bit of commitment of time, no money yet. Okay. So that's where they start. They're giving you a little bit of time by reading something or raising their hand, wanting to learn more about something that you're offering, usually something called a lead magnet. Okay. So that's offer number one. Offer number two is they're probably spending a little bit of money and maybe a little more time than offer one. That's usually initial consultation. Offer three is a little more money, a little more time. That might be them saying, I like you, but I'm just going to commit to a couple of visits for now. Offer four would be, I like you, I'm going to lean into your lowest tiered package. So that might be a month of care paid up front, whatever it might be. And then finally, you can go 5, 6, you can keep going. And finally, you've got the perfect practice member offer. The perfect practice member offer is, let's say you could wave a magic wand, because you can, and you wanted to have the ideal practice member say yes to the ideal offer. It could be a year of care and their entire family is on your schedule and they buy one of every supplement you recommend. It could be that they say yes to visit by visit care and then they have their family come in for initial consultations if you do family care, and then they also get 4 massages a month with your staff massage therapist. We first need to obviously figure out what is our perfect practice member offer, and then we backtrack to the beginning of the flywheel, okay? So offer one is that little thing that doesn't cost any money. That's going to be what we call a lead magnet. It's a magnet to your leads who are out there to learn more about who you are and why you are the best thing since sliced bread, right? So that might be, for my perfect practice member, I love taking care of moms who are doing the family thing and wanting to be a little bit more holistic with what they're doing. Okay. So my first offer might be a free 10-step to wellness PDF that we gift them. We collect, somebody needs to mute out, guys. It might be a 10 steps to family health PDF. We collect their email, we collect their phone number, and then we start nurturing. That would be my first offer. My second offer would be an initial consultation and so on and so forth. So here's where the flywheel comes into play. When somebody is in offer one, I'm nurturing them with what they're reading, what they're seeing, and what they're hearing to lean into offer two. Okay? If somebody is in offer 2, I'm nurturing them, what they see, what they read, what they hear, to either, I usually will go from offer 2 all the way to my perfect practice member offer. So as soon as the first visit is scheduled, I'll start talking to them about lifetime wellness care, because that's my perfect practice member offer. So if they're in offer 2, offer 3, offer 4, I'm still talking about perfect practice member care, perfect practice member goal, lifetime care for the whole family. That's my perfect practice member goal. Okay. So figure out, as we lean into this marketing map for 2025, what's your freebie going to be? What's the lead magnet? How do you set that up? What's your offer that's a little bit of money and a little bit of time on their part to invest in? What's your offer that's a little bit more and more until you get to the goal? You might only have your offer 1, offer 2, and your goal. You might not have all of these steps involved, and that's totally okay. Everybody's flywheel is going to look different. I just want you to get the point now that you're nurturing people to move along the flywheel, okay? That's the first thing I wanted to put into your brain. I promise you that we're going to get to everybody's questions before I hop off of Facebook. Okay, so the next thing I want to go into, and Courtney, if you could make sure that the perfect practice member flywheel system is in the Zoom, that our friends who are there are private clients and there are people who have a practice suite, that we've dropped this in the Zoom. If you need information about being our private client, please bring that to my attention. Okay, let's go to the marketing map. So we talked about, typically what I'll do, you guys, let me just grab a piece of paper and I'll show you. So I love the idea of pen to paper with this, with like, ideally you have these waiting. You've got markers that are ready to start the party, right? And you got a piece of paper that looks like this. It should be a little bit bigger though. And you've got, remember I said inside, outside, habits, and celebrations. So inside habits, outside habits, inside celebrations, outside celebrations. And let's go through this together. Okay, so inside habits are the activities you offer inside of the office to celebrate, educate, and honor your current practice members, providing them with the opportunity to share your practice with friends and family. Outside celebrations are the activities you participate in order to offer the community outside of your office opportunities to get to know who you are and why you're so great. Inside habits are the regular habits or processes and systems that you keep up with inside of the office to keep your practice successful. Outside habits are the regular processes and systems you keep up with outside of the office to ensure practice growth. So back in the day before internet was a big deal, I used to go to coffee shops in town and hang my flyer. That would be an example of an outside habit. I also have this really cool exercise inside of the Joy-Filled Practice Plan book that's sitting behind me, called 3 boxes. The concept is every 90 days, you walk around the office, you fill up 3 empty boxes of things that you haven't touched in the past 90 days. You seal them up, you label the box, you put on your calendar to revisit those boxes in 90 days. You bring the boxes back out, you open them up, and you either get rid of them by donating or recycling, or you re-implement them into the practice, or you give them to a friend or a family member. So that's 3 boxes. That's an inside habit. You might say to me, Jodi, that's not going to make my practice grow. And I would bet my last chocolate bar, it will absolutely make your practice grow to keep your space clear in your office. That's an inside habit. Or team meetings would be another inside habit. Outside celebrations would be like a festival or a fair or whatever. If your town doesn't have those things, then create those things. An outside or an inside celebration would be an event that you have for your practice members. Like this Thursday, I'm having a holistic moms group meet at my office. Am I a new holistic mom with babies on my lap? Absolutely not. However, I'm still going to offer that because that's my perfect practice member and what they're looking for. Thanks, Courtney. Courtney just dropped the flywheel into the chat. So I want you to stay balanced with us. So what I mean by that is if you've got this sheet of paper and you're just starting your practice, and you have like 3 practice members, most of your stuff is going to be outside of the office. Outside habits, outside celebrations are going to be your strong suits to building the practice. If you've already got a lot of practice members like myself and you've been around for a while, you're really going to keep those internal systems moving forward so that you don't have to go outside of the office to continue its growth and nurturing. Okay. I'm also giving you guys, this is like a chart for you to fill out. Everybody loves a lovely chart to fill out. So inside celebrations, inside habits, outside habits. And then I'm also asking you to plan what percentage is going to be inside, what percentage is going to be outside. The cool thing is, like, when I came up with a 4-part marketing map, Facebook groups weren't as hot of a ticket. TikTok wasn't even around. You can do 50% of your outside stuff on social media as long as you target your audience right. Lean into perfect practice member. Courtney, if you can throw gostaffless.com/ppm1 in the Facebook group, that's where you guys are going to find information about how to figure out who your perfect practice member is. And if you do that, you'll very easily come up with a list of ways that you can nurture these people both inside and outside of the office. And then I'm also giving you examples of each. So this is taken straight out of the book, The Joy-Filled Practice Plan. If you're one of our clients, you have all of our books for free. Okay, so that's the marketing map. I want you, if you are in my boot camp and you're watching this, I want you to fill this out before we meet for our next meeting. Okay, I want you to have your inside celebrations, your outside celebrations, your inside habits, and your outside habits done. And after we meet today, if you don't already have my books, one of the books, The Joy-Filled Practice Plan, is every habit and celebration I've ever used and all of the Canva swipe files to go with it. What's a swipe file? If I'm telling you I want you to do an "Aren't you glad you're well adjusted" or an "Aren't you glad you're healthy" for October, I'm giving you the flyers, I'm giving you the checklist, I'm giving you everything so that there's zero creative burden. Why? Because I can. So I'm going to. Okay, so that is that. I wanted to share that with you. I also want to share, now I'm going to start showing off a little bit and showing you some of the tools that we have in the practice suite for this fanciness, for this whole marketing map system. One of the tools that we have is called a link tree. Does everybody know what a link tree is? A link tree is one page for all of the ways that somebody could possibly want to get in touch with you. Okay. So what our amazing, let's say what a practice suite is first. A practice suite is an all-in-one client communication platform that syncs together every way somebody could want to reach out to you and all of the ways to nurture them in one screen. Okay. So our developer of the practice suite just created this link tree theme option. Let's go into the lavender one. And this comes with a practice suite. So this is my example. Obviously, you would put your own photo in and we show you step-by-step how to do it. If you're one of our done for you clients, we do all of this for you. Book a call. One of your companies, if you have more than one, or this might be your practice, your scheduling software might be here. This goes right to my chiropractic center. My online school, and I've got a bunch of books. So this one is just, I think, for staffless. And then it also has my icons for my social media channels. So if you don't like lavender, let's say you're more of a blue person, the blue theme, again, you're going to replace these with what makes sense in your world. So if you want, I would do, if it was just for my private practice, a link to Calendly, like to book a consult or a telehealth with me, or maybe my Jane app telehealth link, my website, my LinkedIn link, my Facebook group link, and probably my Instagram link if it was just for my private practice. So that's called a link tree. Imagine how convenient this could be. So most of the time what we see people do, I'm going to stop share for a minute. Most of the time what we see people do is they'll take a business card, and if you guys want, you can actually point your phone at this and I'll give you a minute to do it. This is a QR code. You can take your phone, point your phone in it, and it'll open up my link tree. And that can go right into your phone. So you can create a QR code, whether it's in your practice suite or in a secondary software program, that goes right to your link tree. A lot of people give us kickback on like, oh my God, the practice suite is $4.95 a month. But I promise you, if you do the math and look at what you're already spending for something like a QR code outside program or an eBlast outside program, it adds up to well over $500 a month. Okay, so that is Linktree. Let me go back to, so if you use Linktree, this would go into when we were talking about the flywheel and nurturing with all of the emails, this would be a link in your signature for all of your emails. Any way that somebody could possibly want to find out about you, you're putting it in a Linktree. Okay, let me go back to sharing. Okay, so just to show you a couple more colors, you know, whatever, we could go on and on with a cool color. I really like the white background and colored buttons. Here's a green theme if you're more of a green person. Okay, so let me just get out of the link trees. And okay, so the next thing I want to show you, this is like next level floats my boat. Okay, so let's say that I'm in my practice suite. Wait, let me go to the right one. Let's say I'm in my practice suite. This is my practice suite for Light Source Chiropractic. Let's say that Jodi Dinnerman comes in. Let's say I'm not Jodi Dinnerman. Let's say my name is Courtney Andrews. Courtney, I'm going to be you for a minute. And let's say I'm the chiropractor and Jodi Dinnerman comes in and she's like, Dr. Courtney, your care totally floats my boat. It rocks my world. I love it so much. I think to myself, wouldn't it be cool if she could share that with the other moms out there who are looking for something special to make their world a little bit better, right? Courtney goes home, I'm at the end of, or Jodi goes home, I'm at the end of my day, and I say, you know what, practice suite, oh mine, I want you to go ahead and request a review from good old Jodi Dinnerman. So Jodi goes home, the review is requested, and Jodi gets this link that says, hey, Jodi, please take a minute to share your experience with us. Here is the link. And it opens up a lovely pre-created, like we show you how to create all of this by asking the questions, pointing you to the right things. Hope we made you smile. How many stars would you give us? If Jodi gives 5 stars, it's going to take her to my Google review page. If Jodi gives 4 stars or less, let's give Jodi 3 stars or Courtney 3 stars because it just didn't rock my boat that day. Here's an opportunity to give feedback before it goes all over Google. So that is one of the most important things that you can include in this. Where would you guys put that? You would put it in Inside Habits. You probably put it in Inside Celebrations too, because you can have a Google review launch. If you're brand new with a practice suite and you haven't started using your Google review launch yet, your Google review, make it an Inside Celebration. Have some kind of a drive or a challenge. Everybody during the month of November that leaves us a Google review is going to get a raffle ticket for XYZ, whatever, right? Make sure you're staying compliant because we're only allowed to give certain amount of things or dollars each year to our practice members as thank you. So checking your area. That's how you use Google reviews. Please make Google reviews, Yelp reviews. If you go to a new dentist or a new hair salon, the first thing that most of us are going to do is check out their reviews. So ask your practice members when they tell you how awesome you are, ask them to tell the world about it too. And this is a very easy, non-confrontational, non-weird way to do that. Cool? Okay. What else did I want to show you guys? I wanted to show you the practice suite has all of these automations, and then we walk you through how to use them. I know what I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you one more piece, which is QR codes. So you might not be fancy with QR codes and really love like taking your phone and holding it up to something, but I promise you that Your practice members under the age of 35 are doing this every single day. It's part of their daily routine to be using QR codes. In the practice suite, if you're in sites and then you go to QR codes, you can create a branded QR code. But the coolest thing about that is if somebody holds it up and uses your QR code, you can immediately send them a voicemail drop, a text message, whatever, saying, hey, I see that you're leaning into our QR code or whatever the offer goes to. How can we help? How can we be supportive of you? You can also watch the analytics of each QR code to see who's opened it and who hasn't. Okay, I think I went over everything that I wanted to go over. The biggest way that your suite can help you with your 4-part marketing map is it helps with moving the flywheel forward. The flywheel pieces, like the emails, the text messages, the voicemail drops, the whatever, you can send postcards, you can send gifts, all of that can be done in automations that you set up ahead of time, which is in the automations button inside of the practice suite. Okay, so I am now going to stop sharing on Facebook. If you're watching us on Facebook, I'm loving you from here. Go make the world better with great care. Okay, now in our Zoom, we have our private clients and we have our sweeties. Does anybody have a question about the 4-part marketing map or all things staffless practice? Not yet suite questions. Was that helpful, you guys?
Could you go over how to ask for Google recommendations that isn't a weird way?
Yeah. So I actually forgot to say, so this boot camp is 3 parts. This week we're on 4-part marketing map. Next week, all we're doing is talking about Google reviews and how to ask for a review. So it's literally clicking a button. You want me to show you guys again? Just so that you have something to look forward to? Yeah, okay. Okay, so let me go to so you're going to be setting it up. I'm in automation here, Claire, and this is where the workflow setup is. Like there's a whole course to walk you through. Don't do it yet. Please do it with us next week. And then let's say that I am in, let's say Jodi Dinnerman just left my office and told me that I'm the best thing since hot potatoes. I can click this button right here that says review request, and it'll send her a text, it'll send her an email. But we have to together set up, what is that text going to say? What is that email going to say? We want to get you all set. And then like some people might send them right to Google or right to Yelp or right to Facebook. Everybody has a different preference. I say we all stick to Google reviews so that we're all on the same page, no pun intended. And then some people might say, well, I'm okay with 4 stars. I'm not okay with 4 stars. If somebody, as you know, if you're one of my clients, every week we ask, how are you doing on many different fronts? And if you give us a 4, our whole team is like, what are we doing? What can we do better, right? We want to see 5s across the board. The same is true when I'm getting reviews for chiropractic. I don't want to see a 4 because what I would think is, well, why wasn't it a 5? And so you can set the number, Claire, like you can say, well, if someone gives me a 4, 3, 2, or 1, I want it to loop back to them having a text message conversation with me, and I'll start that conversation. If somebody gives a 5, though, send them right over to Google reviews. So we're going to grab that link from you. We're going to show you how to set up the workflow. We're going to do it step by step together next week. What other questions do you guys have on all things staffless practice and or marketing map? Okay, so if you are, I'm going to stop recording now.